Imagine waking up one day to find your entire country sinking, not metaphorically, but literally. This is the terrifying reality for nations like Tuvalu, Kiribati, and the Maldives. By the end of this century, they might completely disappear from the map. So, why are these countries sinking? Global warming is causing polar ice caps and glaciers to melt, releasing more water into the oceans. Sea levels have already risen by about 20 centimeters since 1900, and that rate is accelerating. The Intergovernmental Panel on Climate Change, IPCC, predicts up to 1 meter of sea level rise by 2100. That might not sound like much, until you realize many island nations have an average elevation of just 1 to 2 meters. Located in the Pacific Ocean, Tuvalu is one of the lowest lying countries on Earth, with a maximum elevation of just 4.5 meters. Even a high tide can flood entire parts of the country. The government of Tuvalu has begun building digital archives of its cultural heritage and legal systems, in case the islands vanish completely. In 2022, they even announced a plan to recreate the country in the metaverse, to remain a nation, even without physical land. Spread across 33 small islands, much of Kiribati sits just 2 meters above sea level. The government has already bought land in Fiji in preparation for mass relocation. Some families have already started moving abroad, becoming what are known as climate migrants. Kiribati faces not just rising seas, but freshwater contamination and loss of farming land, making life increasingly unsustainable. A popular tourist paradise, but also the flattest country in the world. Some estimates suggest that 80% of the Maldives could be underwater by 2050. The Maldivian government once held a cabinet meeting underwater, wearing scuba gear, to raise awareness of climate change. The country is investing in artificial islands and sea walls, but time is running out. But here's a question: if a country loses all of its land, does it still exist? International law doesn't have a clear answer. Tuvalu is preparing to become the world's first digital nation, preserving its culture and sovereignty online, even if its land disappears. But what about the people? Millions could become climate refugees, forced to leave their homes not because of war or poverty, but because of rising seas. What can be done? Cutting carbon emissions, investing in renewable energy, and helping vulnerable countries build defenses are all essential. But time is running out. If we don't act, entire nations will vanish, not in history books, but in our lifetime. So the next time you hear about climate change, remember, for some people, it's not just about hotter summers, it's about survival. Subscribe to the QFC for more surprising facts about the world we live in.